Hello everybody. Looks like we only have a few people here today. So you guys who are here, if you could let me know if you could hear me, and we can begin. Looks like Saturday's attendance is not so great. Hello Taya, how are you? Hi Margaret. What was that show where they said hi to the kids on the screen? Was it Reading Rainbow? Like, I see Jimmy, I see Billy. What was that show? Who remembers that? Romper Room? Was it Romper Room? I don't remember. None of you guys remember? Anybody have any questions for me? We're starting a little early, so if you have any questions, it's a good time to ask. As I said, we're about 1 or 2 minutes early here. So let me know if you guys have any questions. Hi, Cassie. Do you guys hear a lot of background noise? They're doing construction at the office today. Michelle, if the seller's blind, who should fill out the disclosure form? Is that an exam question or is that real life, Michelle? So I've never had anybody ask that question before. That's something actually happened, or is that something that that is on one of your exam material? I mean, I can make an educated guess at it that they need to get a power of attorney, or they'd have to have the document translated and converted. So Kiva, there are many documents that must be in writing. I don't have a list of every single one. The list could be endless. But I know, for example, a real estate contract over a year must be in writing. As I said, Michelle, I'm not exactly sure on that one. So, yeah, I've never seen that one before, but I could do a little research for you. Okay, so with that being said, let's begin. Like I said, Saturdays are always a little tricky. Just bear with me today. Okay, the main purpose of RESPA, Real Estate Settlement Procedure Act, is to A, place a fixed limit on settlement costs on residential property of 4 units or less. B, place fixed limit on settlement costs on all real estate transactions. C, to provide consumers with enough information to enable them to shop for settlement services. Or D, to standardize settlement services throughout the United States. What do you guys think? And the answer is C. Good job, everybody. A real estate broker acting as an agent of the landlord has the following instructions. Instruction 1, collect a larger deposit from single men than from single women or couples. Instruction 2, advertise only be encouraging existing tenants who are predominantly white to solicit prospective tenants among their friends. Which of these instructions would be prohibited by the Fair Housing Act, by the Federal Fair Housing Act? Okay, the answer is D. Good. If any of you guys got that one wrong, it'd be disturbing. So, what year did fair housing come into play? Who knows? What year did fair housing come into play? 1968. 1968. Good. Can you guys give me examples that are violations of fair housing that could come up on your exam? Can you guys give me examples of violation of fair housing that comes up on your exam? So block busting, steering, good. What does steering have to do with? Who knows what does steering have to do with? And you guys know? What does steering have to do with? Steering has to do with working with buyers. Block busting and panic peddling, panic selling have to do with sellers. Steering is saying, oh, you're one of those people, you should live there. Block busting or panic peddling is when you say, oh, well, you better sell because those people are moving to town. And you don't want to live by those people, do you? We should all get this right. What does the question say? Who cares what the question says? We're all going to circle what? The question is, why are you reading the question? What's the answer here? Anybody know? Anybody know? The question is blah, 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 blah. Please circle B. And if you don't circle B, then I failed you miserably. So when you guys see 1960 in your exam, we all promise we're going to circle it, right, guys? Doesn't matter if it asks you like how old you are, what year you were born, how many kids you have. Does not matter. What's your lucky number? You're going to circle 1968. Everybody right? I promise. Right? I promise. Broker Kiki took a listing on a 10-unit apartment house and wrote up a financial analysis showing a 12% yield on the investment. In the analysis, Kiki did not allow for vacancy factor, maintaining expenses, or reserves for replacement of furniture and equipment. Kiki showed this analysis to Bubba, who bought the property. Which of the following describes the above as a possible violation of real estate law? A. Acting for more than one party in a transaction without consent of all parties. B. A false promise. C. Misrepresentation. Or D. False statement regarding a real property security. What do you guys think? The answer is C. Misrepresentation. Good. Good job, everybody. Are you guys going to open houses tomorrow? Who's going to open house tomorrow? We're all going to open houses, right, guys? I also want you guys to check out agentschool.com. That is the site I've been putting together. It's in the works, but there's already a lot of good information to help you guys start your business. I'm going to be focusing on social media as a platform for you guys to promote yourself. So definitely check that out as it's going to evolve. The Instagram is going to be, well, it is Real Estate Agent School. That is the Instagram handle. So look for it there, and we're going to put together a lot of good information so that you guys could excel, not just with passing the exam, but also for your real estate career. So look for that. Stephen Douglas has been burning leaves on his front lawn. His neighbors have filed a lawsuit and received a court order, ordering Mr. Douglas to stop burning the leaves. That court order would be called A, an injunction, B, a variance, C, a writ of habeas corpus, or D, a lease pendens. And the answer is A, an injunction. A, an injunction. Good. An injunction is a court order to stop. When running a real estate office, the phrase company dollar means A, the net income of a broker after all expenses are subtracted, B, the income after all salaries are paid to others, C, the income of an office after all commissions are paid to the salespeople, or D, the money the company initially invested to open the office. And the answer is C, the income of the office after all commissions are paid to the salespeople. Don't forget, guys, when you use this, you could always print the practice exam. Everybody see this in the top right corner. You could always print if you ever want to have a printed copy of all this. That is available to you. The personal, revocable, and unassignable permission of authority to do one or more acts on the land without possessing any interest therein is the definition of A, an option, B, an encroachment, C, a license, or D, an easement. And the answer is C, a license. Good. Agent Vivian Rose was driving her client towards a property. In the car, she realized he was of a particular religion. At which time, she immediately did a U-turn and took him to the place that she believed people who practiced the same religion lived. This would be an example of A, steering, B, blockbusting, C, illegal conduct, or D, steering and illegal conduct. Some of you guys were too quick and circled A without reading all of them. They're basically saying not only do you know what steering is, but do you also understand that steering is illegal? Hopefully we all know that steering is illegal, because we know it's a violation of the Fair Housing Act, right, guys? Uh-oh, I might sneeze. And you guys think you're about to sneeze, but you're not sure if you're going to sneeze? Any moment I might sneeze. Be ready for it, guys. It's going to be really weird coming through the computer. Okay, an agent prospective purchaser asks to be shown homes but does not specify that he wants to see homes located in a neighborhood where there are no Asians. How should a licensee decide what properties to show him? A, the licensee has no obligation to show homes in non-Asian neighborhoods to the prospect. B, the licensee may select homes for showing as he would for any other prospect. C, the licensee could assume that the prospective buyer is not interested in such homes. Or D, the licensee cannot need to provide service for the prospect at all. Charles is here. Woot woot. Do people still say that anymore? Woot woot. Or is that a very 90s thing? I feel like it's an early 90s thing. Kind of like the Macarena. How many of you guys dance the Macarena? Now that song's gonna be in your head all day. Later you're gonna be like, get that out of my head. Which of the following acts requires public accommodations to be made accessible to all people? A, the Federal Housing Accommodations Act. B, the Federal Deposit Insurance Act. C, the Labor Standards Act. D, the America with Disabilities Act. D, the American with Disabilities Act. How's the audio today? Do you guys hear a lot of background noise? Because there's like construction going on and there's rain is coming down pretty hard. So if you guys don't notice it, that's great. That means my microphone is really kicking butt. All right, cool. When a lender, blah, that's not the background noise. That's my fumbling on my tongue. When a lender makes a loan regulated by the Real Estate Settlement Procedures Act, the loan applicant must be provided with which of the following? A, forms of applying for the homeowner's exemption. B, a bill of sale. C, an application for private mortgage insurance. Or D, a good faith estimate. That's the tricky part about doing these webinars on Saturdays. Construction and all that work always gets done on the weekend. These obviously don't want to disturb everybody during the week. Except us. Okay, the answer is D, a good faith estimate. Oh, don't forget to turn your phones off, guys. Who did that? Must have been one of those construction people, huh? Okay, you got to provide a good faith estimate. Okay, Millie wanted to buy a house. The seller said that in order to purchase the property, Millie must use her brother, who is a fully qualified lender. At which time, the broker in the transaction told the seller that the only way that Millie is buying the house is if she uses their in-house lender. Millie voiced her opinion and said, I am using my lender and that is final. Under these circumstances, which of the following is true? A, the seller can require her lender because it's her property. B, Millie can require her lender because she is the buyer. C, nobody can require any lender because it is a term to be negotiated. Or D, the broker can require his lender because he is the licensed party. B, Millie can require her lender because she is the buyer. I had a friend who said he invented the webinar. He originated the webinar. I'm not sure to believe him because he's from Silicon Valley where they invented a lot of stuff like this. But to me at this point, it feels like somebody saying, I invented the door. I don't know. Doesn't seem like it's so common now where it's like somebody said, I invented Windows. Okay, here we go. If a deed has a restriction covenant which prohibits the sale of the property to a person of a particular race, that covenant will A, provide the grantor the power to enforce the covenant. B, have no effect on the conveyance, but the covenant will be unenforceable. C, invalidate the conveyance. Or D, provide the grantee the power to void the conveyance. Margaret is in that valley now. What, you're talking about the Santa Clara era? The Silicon Valley? Okay, the answer is B. It has no effect on the conveyance, but will be unenforceable. It's funny, people say the Silicon Valley, they think of Facebook and Google and WhatsApp and all these different high-tech things that are changing the world. But if you actually live there, they have nothing to do with your everyday life. You never really see them because those places are like fortresses that you need like 10 different codes to get into. Ironically enough, there's also a military base in Mountain View, which is right by Google. Okay, which of the following is the best example of the practice known as puffing? A licensee misrepresents material facts concerning a property. B, a licensee communicates his opinions about a property as material facts. C, a license exaggerates certain features of benefits of a property. Or D, a license implies that he is well connected and knows many influential people in the area. And the answer is C. Little fact for you guys, I used to live in that Santa Clara area. That's Silicon Valley, Northern California. But those were my married days, and that didn't work out that well. So I choose to kind of block that out. Okay, so puffing is exaggeration. Don't worry, Yuri. You will do fine. Just keep pushing. So if you guys fail, if you guys do, and obviously I hope you don't, the key thing is not to give up and to follow up on your studies. When you see people take the exam 10, 15, 20 times, what usually happens with them is they study the first few times. They study time 1, 2, maybe even 3. Then after that, they give up. And people say, well, how do you fail so many times? Well, the reason is because that 5th time, they know less than they did the 3rd time is they stop studying. And they're kind of just going in, filling out bubbles or whatever your exam is. Okay? So that's why you got to follow up on it and don't give up. Does that make sense? When you see people take it like these massive amounts of times, very often it's because they give up, but they still want to take the test, so they just end up going through the motions. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys. The key thing is to follow up on what you learned in the previous exam. So you study, and then you see in the new exam that, okay, this was not part of my studies, I'm going to look at that, or this was, and you build upon each time. So when you failed, at least it wasn't for nothing. Okay? It wasn't for nothing. It kind of builds upon what you learned before. So the problem is after they fail, somebody just checks out and they don't study until the next exam. And obviously they're not going to remember everything they learned previously. And also relax with it when you study for the exam. Keep in mind, passing the exam is not the goal. Selling real estate is the goal. So while you guys are studying, you guys should be building up your social media presence, get everything ready. You should be making a list of everything you could do before you pass. So after you pass your license, you're focused on only the things that need a license. There's a lot of stuff you're going to do to get ready. Do not need a license. Obviously, you can't solicit business without a license, but you could start to build up your Facebook profile, your Instagram profile. You start to become knowledgeable of certain things in the area. You could go to open houses. You obviously just can't solicit business and earn a commission just yet. But that is a small part of what you're going to do. That's the final step. A lot of the steps building up to that, you guys could start now. Just be careful with some of your wording, but you could absolutely start like a Facebook page talking about real estate. And I say that because I see so many people who pass their exam and they're like, all right, now what? You should not be that person. It's kind of like the first time I got into a bar when I was younger and I had my brother's fake ID and I got in. And then I was so excited. Then I entered and I was like, okay, what now? And it looked like just a bunch of like dreary middle-aged people just sitting around. I was like, this is not what I imagined. I had an imagination it was like MTV Spring Break every time you go in. But once I got in, I was like, oh, this is it? All the guys know what I'm talking about here. I think that's more of a guy thing. Okay, here we go. When a situation is such that damages would not provide an adequate remedy, in the case of a breach of contract, a suit for specific performance could be successfully brought by all the following except A, the buyer of an income property, B, a licensed real estate broker acting as an agent for the principal, C, the seller of a condominium, or D, one of the principals being represented by an attorney in fact. Okay. Do you guys hear the rain now? It's really coming down now. Ooh, we're talking about open listings now. A super broker took an open listing. He then made an oral agreement with another broker to share the commission on the property. The second broker procured an offer resulting in the sale of the property. The first broker refused to share his commission on the sale. A, he need not share the commission due to the statute of frauds. B, the second broker could sue the seller for his share of the commission. C, the second broker would stand a good chance of winning a court suit for his share of the commission. Or D, he need not share the commission as it was an open listing. Blake says, what state do you live in? I live in the state of everlasting peace and happiness. A state of joy. Okay, the answer is C. Do you guys know what an open listing is? Who knows what an open listing is? Anybody know? What's an open listing? Who knows what an open listing is? It's also known as a non-exclusive listing. It means anybody could go find a buyer. You have to prove you're the procuring cause of the buyer. Whereas an exclusive right to sell, it doesn't matter who gets a buyer, you get the commission no matter what. So Rosanna, you're thinking more of an exclusive agency listing. Okay, when a real estate agent acts exclusively as a buyer's agent, he can A, present offers to a family member of the seller, B, present offers to the seller, C, present offers to the seller and the seller's agent, or D, present offers based upon what the buyers have offered. And the answer is C. When dealing with the public, a broker may not A, delegate any of his duties to other people, B, remain silent concerning material facts about a property known only to himself, C, divulge a material fact if you think it is in the best interest of the seller to keep it unknown, or D, reject a listing on the property in the area in which he is active. What do you guys think? The answer is B, remain silent concerning material facts about the property known only to himself. The buyer's earning money deposit may be A, anything of value, B, anything the buyer considers valuable, C, a promissory note, or D, a post-dated check. Okay, and the answer is A, anything of value. Good. Good luck, Tony. Everybody wish Tony good luck. Everybody say good luck, Tony. Everybody has to write good luck, Tony, or else I'm not continuing. We all have to write good luck, Tony. If you can write it in other languages, that'd be amazing too. Buena suerte. Where's my bilingual people? Marta's buena suerte. There's the Spanish speakers. Okay, here we go. Thank you, Cody. Coti. Spelled with a T, not a D. Okay, two brokers decide to list the property together and agree to split the commission 50-50. One broker finds the buyer and then refuses to share his commission. In the event of an occurrence of this nature, an action should be filed A, with the Department of Real Estate, B, with the Department of Real Estate and Civil Court, C, in a civil court, or D, with civil and criminal court. And the answer is C, in a civil and criminal court. In a civil court. I said civil court, right? That's what I said. Which of the following is not required to create a lease for more than 1 year? A, termination date. B, the amount of rent and the method of payment. C, the lessor and lessee must both sign it always. Or D, it must be in writing. Jamila, there's some Portuguese. Boa suerte. Is that like você bom? Oh, and now the rain's stopping. Isn't that just our luck? The rain was strongest right after the webinar started, and now that we're getting towards the end, the rain's stopping. What is that, Murphy's Law or what? Okay, answer C. Lessor and lessee must both sign it. Yes, Ann, you said that. Not in LA. It's true. A neighborhood is predominantly white, while an adjoining neighborhood has recently experienced an influx of homeowners from another ethnic group. A real estate salesperson begins canvassing the white neighborhood, telling people they should sell now because the minorities will soon be moving in and property values could drop. Which of the following violations is this person guilty of? A, blockbusting, C, panic peddling and blockbusting, C, panic peddling, or D, steering. And the answer is B, panic peddling, blockbusting. We went over that earlier. That has to do with sellers saying you better sell your house because those people are moving to this part of the town. You don't want to live by them. That is bad to do. Jamila, are you Portuguesa? I like the praias in Brasilia. Okay, here we are. Moving on. In one of her weekly sales meetings, broker Elizabeth Johnson made the following two statements to her sales staff. We're going to solicit listings in the Rancho Los Cabos neighborhood because a large number of Black and Asian buyers are moving in. 2, only speak to the white homeowners because the owners have only recently moved in and won't be interested in selling. Which, if either of these statements, is legal? A, both number 1 and number 2 are legal if part of the conversation kept with the firm and not discussed publicly. B, both number 1 and 2 are illegal. C, number 1 is legal but number 2 is illegal. And D, number 1 is illegal but number 2 is legal. And the answer is B. And you guys ever been to Panama? I'm feeling very international today. I know we got a very worldly group here. A lot of world travelers. Okay, here we go. Oh, she's not Portuguese at all. She just takes a Brazilian jiu-jitsu class. Huh. All right, never would have guessed that. Okay, salesperson Andrew receives an offer to purchase, which is accompanied by a $2,000 earnest money deposit in the form of a personal note. Which is true in this case? A, the resulting contract will be voidable at the seller's option. B, Andrew has breached his agent duty to the seller. C, the offer should indicate that the deposit is in the form of a note. Or D, Andrew should return the note and ask the purchaser to give him a check for the same amount. Ever been to Cabo Verde? I have not. Not sure where that is. Where is that? Okay, the answer is the offer should indicate the deposit is in the form of the note. The Civil Rights Act of 1866, rediscovered by the Supreme Court in 1968, permits discrimination in housing based on race. A, when the person refrains from discriminatory advertising. B, when the person does not own more than 3 houses. C, never. Or D, when the person does not use a broker. And the answer is C, never. It is never okay to do that. All right, let's do one more, and then we'll call it a day. Blockbusting is best described as intent, A, by banks to refuse loans to homeowners of certain segments of the city. B, to form guerrilla bands to use a violent action to integrate neighborhoods. C, by insurance companies to refuse to issue homeowners policies to certain residents of the area. Or D, to panic a neighborhood in thinking property values will decline due to unwanted persons moving in. All right, and this is an illegal act, and it is D. All right, guys, that's it for today. Seems all went well today. I apologize for any background noise that came up unexpectedly. It's part of the deal when you do these webinars 5 times a week. We're not always going to have the perfect situation, but we're getting there. We are getting there. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Remember to do open houses. We're going to pick this up again on Tuesday. We're not doing it Mondays. Remember, this month we're doing Tuesday through Saturday. You can always check the schedule on the Facebook events page. Just go to our Facebook page, click on events, and you can see it right there. All right? You're welcome, Taya. Taya, we're doing it for people like you who can't make it during the week, so I'm glad you are here. That's great news. Okay, guys, have a great day.